Welcome again to another edition of Strange New Pod. I am your fleet captain and host, Julian Brown, and I am joined by the best bridge crew this side of Bajor, Lieutenant Commander Hawk, who just wants a second apiece in those docking bay rings on DS9. Everybody just wants a little hangout. Watch some runabouts come along every now and then. We have Queen Nev herself, fresh off of San Diego Comic-Con and hosting her very own panel, which was awesome. It is Captain Girafe, and then joining us via... Hello, the Starfleet Command Exchange Program. We have our friend, Captain Myrriah Gossett from Star Trek Discovery Pod. Jolan True, how we doing?
Woo!
Yeah.
Just so you know, it was my secret evil minions who wrecked the live stream, so we can blame it all on me.
I'm blaming it on you. I'm maybe blaming it on the pack leads. We're going to blame it on someone, but the technology is now working. I'm going to figure that all out later. But before we get into the show, Myrriah, it's been a bit. You haven't been on like the main pod. You've done a bunch of cool bonus pods with us, but you haven't been on the main pod. I think since we're doing Discovery season 3, guesswork.
I think it has been a hot second, since I've been on the mainstream. Happy to be back. I know I frequently steal Girafe for our streams, so so it's been
a little exchange.
She's very in demand.
Never hurt anybody, but happy to be back. Happy to hang out with y'all, and excited to talk about some Comic-Con news.
Yeah, Comic-Con, awesome. Can't wait to get into it.
Wild.
The crowd does go wild this week. That is what we're talking about. We're breaking down all the happenings from the Star Trek Hall H panel. It was big. It was wild. Girafe was in there.
Yes.
I failed to get in.
How long did you have to wait in line?
I waited from 10:45 to 1, and when I knew I wasn't getting in, I just boogied. I got out of there and went and got Wrath of Pecan ice cream.
Ooh, Girafe, how did you sneak your way in there?
Oh, we're doing this now?
Or we're doing this now. How'd you sneak
I got
in?
questions. I need to know.
Okay, so I have to thank our friends from Le Cadran Pop, which is the French Star Trek podcast. They know people who know people who got me. They got me places. So I had a studio seating, so I waited a grand total of 10 minutes, which was great because I was in full cosplay and it was 2,000 degrees. I met people from TrekCore. I met people from Paramount Plus in the line. So I ended up with my picture everywhere because we're just waiting. So that was fun, but I got
Excellent.
in.
Yay for getting in. Awesome. You looked wonderful in your Queen Nev cosplay as well.
Thank you.
By the way. So let's get into it. Before we break all the stuff down, that's the season 3 trailer for Picard, or was a teaser. Season 3 trailer for Lower Decks, a little bit of Strange New Worlds news. Girafe, it is unfortunately back to you. It's your favorite thing to do in the world. Need to thank our Patron Collective members at the Ready Room level and above. Hit it.
Okay, thank you so much, and thanks to Simon Steger, Jeffrey, Myrriah Gossett. Hey, Myrriah.
Hi, that's me.
Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joseph Perito, Noe Santos. Hey, Noe. I saw him last week. Ken Hui, Heaven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Laura Linderman, Kowalian Nightspray, aka Reasonable Stranger.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Colin Davidson, Jesse Desmond, Alan Davis, Shatterhand 2049, Jesco, MC Frodis, Maggie, Michael Graham, Emily and Travis, Gildera, Cassie, Raul, Summer Ricci, supporter of human rights. Woo! Maggie Light, Canada. Just the country.
Canada.
All of Canada.
All of Canada.
So I can retire from my job now that all Canada is one of our patrons.
Strong.
Great. Wayne Ritz, Scone of Arc, Sean, Jay Howard, and our 2 new collective members, Anna Yurdadon, which I've talked with on Patreon. Hi, Anna, and Ella.
Yay! Patrons, yay! Thank you guys so much for your support. We are getting really close to that Mission Seattle goal, which is crazy. Thought that was going to take a lot longer. Thanks, everyone, for your...
We need to up it up.
I know, we do. For your continued support. Real quick, Draft's going to have a couple things, but we were talking about this just a few days ago over drinks. Noe was there. Philly and Pennsylvania, Patron Collective, good folks. We are tentatively planning an in-person get-together on Sunday, September 11th with myself and Girafe, because Girafe is going to be in town, and that's going to be really fun. So stay tuned for more details on that. We're going to give you guys some options on like things that you might want to do. So look on Patreon for that. And then, yeah, what else do we have going on, Girafe?
We are going to have our Patreon happy hour in August. So we tentatively try to move it to Wednesday, 10th of August, a little bit early for our patrons from the East Coast. If you're a patron, please go vote on our Patreon page for the hour and the date that would work the best for you.
Yay! Awesome. Guys,
I'm doing my singy song voice.
Siggy song voice. I like it. Guys, we are... Oh, sorry, 1 second.
Children, helicopters, dogs.
This is the stream from hell. We're good.
And this is like you're gonna see it's the episode that people are gonna listen the most. So
it is, and this isn't actually the worst that has happened. It's close to the worst that's happened, but not quite there.
I know, me being here is always the worst.
Myrriah, it's all your fault. I'm blaming it all on you.
Last time I was on Discovery Pod, my audio was not working.
That's true. So it's like the karma or whatever, the energy is going from place to place.
We're just too much to handle.
We are. It's true. Do I actually have the...
What are we doing?
I'm looking for this because it's the first time that we're bringing this segment back since Strange New Worlds started, and it is the Strange New Loop. That's right. Did you miss the sound? Are you happy to hear the sound back?
I didn't know we're doing a Strange New Loop.
I know why you didn't know we were doing a Strange Loop, because you didn't read the outline. True facts, right? Am I right?
This is a lie.
I did research for mine.
Myrriah did research.
Wow.
Giraffe. Yeah.
Okay.
So, the Strange New Loop, for the first time in like 11 weeks, what 2 series of Star Trek make for your perfect crossover? Obviously, the Twitch let us know too. What would it be about? And previously crossed over shows are allowed. Myrriah, since you did research and you are a guest, what did you come up with for this one?
Well, the one that I think I enjoyed the most from the past, and I think it should be done all of the time, are tribbles, specifically a crossover with the Trouble with Triples into Trials and Tribulations from Deep Space Nine.
So a crossover into a crossover?
Well, that's like my favorite crossover, I think, besides having like Spock for reunification, which I think is like a big, that felt like a top of mind answer to that question. But then I was like, I feel like I could go deeper. What is like a more fun, campy Trek thing? And I want tribbles everywhere.
I have to say that I'm gonna bring down the conversation to some depressive like level, but I really wanted Picard to do a crossover with DS9 and the Bell Riots, because it was the right time, the right moment. We're all ready. So I don't know. I want something to happen with past tense. I want this. I want this, but for fun, I mean, another thing, I would really like to have a Discovery crossover. Maybe with Strange New Worlds. I want the siblings to see each other
somehow
again.
See each other.
Yeah, I know I'm not gonna get it, but I'm romantic. I want them to know they're being okay.
I would say
family.
I would say never say never. I feel like that's more of a possibility than what we're getting, which we're going to talk about later, and that's already happening.
These crossover too would be something I'd watch.
Oh, those two together? Yeah. Yes.
I would love to see Captain Freeman IRL in anything, because Dawn is incredible.
She is. I'd say she could show up in Picard, but that's ending in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk, how about you?
So crossover potential. I'm hoping there's some sort of crossover potential for the new season of Picard coming up, and I'm hoping it involves DS9 because there's one character from DS9 I would love to see come back for one final go, and that would be Quark.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like
I feel Quark has been like in everything. Like they keep talking about him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna show up at one point or another.
I've been on a DS9 like rewatch that recently, and like he is just such a great character, you know.
Yeah,
We had
absolutely.
the root beer at 10 forward. What was
Yeah.
it? Slug cola?
The Sluggo cola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good actually. It was really good root beer. Let's see what we have going over on Twitch. Let's see. That DS9 crossover was fantastic, Sean says. Jesco says, I would love to see the crossover of Discovery and Deep Space Nine. The conversations Michael and Cisco would be incredible. Plus, we'd get to see the crew party at Quark's. I mean,
yeah.
I'm here for that. Haven says, Deep Space Nine and Discovery visiting the 31st. Oh, like seeing, okay, Discovery going to 31st century Deep Space Nine. I wonder what that would look like. Did they update it? Do they keep that good Cardassian architecture?
Listen, DS9 didn't make one more century. Let's be honest. That thing was already like kind of holding with duct tape.
Yeah.
You really think it made it to the 31st century?
Maybe it's a brand new one, a shiny new station.
Deep Space Nine.
0.2.
0.4 because like the Ferengi blew it up like maybe two times, and you know.
Yeah. Let's see. Zelda fan 4323 says, I just started TOS, so maybe Khan meets Strange New Worlds crew. I mean, I don't think we're gonna meet Khan, but with La'an being a Noonien Singh, something Khan is gonna happen, right? It's only a matter of time. So
yeah.
Let's see. DS9 Orville. Dual Penny Harold Johnson characters. That would be cool. Yeah.
Everybody's about ones. DS9. Everybody wants DS9 right
and
now.
I can't say DS9.
Yes, you can.
Prodigy.
Say whatever you want.
Nobody said Prodigy. Let's crossover Prodigy a little bit.
I was gonna say maybe Prodigy and Lower Decks, but I don't think it would work. Like I just don't think it's there. I'm gonna stick on the DS9 train because I love me my DS9. Like I need Quark showing up on the Cerritos somehow, right? You know, maybe another Chief O'Brien cameo, but he maybe like fixes up the Cerritos a little bit. Go ahead, Giraffe. I know you're dying.
Prodigy and Discovery. They mess up the protostar, they jump, and Discovery helps them back.
Bravo. I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
Lizard babies.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That deserved that. So, J. Krabs said Janeway in Discovery. I may not have read that. Sorry, but it is a good one. It's a good one. I like it. So, let's get into some San Diego Comic-Con 2022 wrap up. First time it's been back since the pandemic, besides the special edition that you went to, Giraffe.
Yes. It was fun. There was nobody. It was great.
Yeah.
No lines.
That was not
no
the
nothing.
case. That was not the case this time. Just so you know, when we do get to our roundtable bit, we're gonna go Myrriah, Hawk, Giraffe, and then me. But first, Giraffe, I just want to ask you, and I'll go. What was your experience? This was both of our first Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Cons. Like, would you do it again? Would you do another panel? Like, how was it for you?
Yeah. So panel, yes, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I kind of don't remember doing it because I was like in such a adrenaline state. I ran through Gaslamp dressed as Nev to get to the other location. I arrived like absolutely high on adrenaline after like being on the big screen of whole. It was absolutely a mess, but the panel was super fun. There were a lot of people. I really like doing it. I really like prepping it. I really like working with my friend to make it happen. So definitely I would love to do another panel. I love moderating. It was a lot of fun.
You were a natural, by the way. I'm just
thank
gonna
you.
say that.
It's like I do that for a living or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Star Trek.
Star Trek Day coming up.
I think we were having Myrriah. Am I allowed to say this? I think off air we were talking about the various Star Trek jobs that we've all applied to and not gotten. We're here. We're waiting.
Yeah, like Star Trek Seattle. I can moderate the hell out of a room.
You'd be better than Lady Boner Girl. Just
it's a hard job.
Yeah,
you don't know.
Let's not make our
like
actors
we don't need to trash others. We can lift each other up and help each other learn new skills.
Each other up.
Yes, I'm here. Women supporting women. Come on. So panel was absolutely great. I'd do it again if I'm there for panel, to be honest. Just to be roaming the exhibition hall in a cosplay is exhausting.
I can only imagine. I don't know if y'all have ever done South by Southwest before, but that's like an Austin staple. And so I've done that a few different years. And the years where I have a speaker's badge and can kind of do whatever you want. And then the years where you're like, have a measly film wristband. It's a very different experience.
Yes. Having the professional passes, the VIP bracelets, it's so much better. You don't wait in line. But to be honest, with a panel, I don't think I would have as much fun. I mean, I'd have fun because all my friends are there, but it adds a little bit of a challenge that I usually don't have when I go to conventions.
It gives you something like else important to do, and like you feel like you're a part of it.
Yeah. It's just a new challenge. You're part of it. People come for the panels, and you're one of these providers. And I feel it's like I went. How do you say, like full circle?
Full circle, yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
And it's great. I hope I get selected next year. We already have panels in the books. Yay!
Can't wait.
Is there any ideas of panels you'd like to do in the future?
Yeah, so we want to do one on evolutionary biology in Star Trek. So why did Xindi have like 5 different species? How like the Cardassians are like related to, I don't know, the Gorns. I don't know, like try to see why we branch and how we branch. And I think there's a lot of fun to be had like talking about this. I saw similar panels in Star Wars. There are a lot of very interesting scientific panels in Star Wars that I think we can move to Star Trek with the right people. And Star Trek panels are usually a lot on the hard sciences, like astronomy and physics and chemistry and energy, but very often they're not really interested in human sciences so evolution, biology, archaeology, paleontology, anthropology. There's a lot that can be done.
I'd also like to do one. We were talking about it. I'd like to do one on like there's so many like Star Trek podcasts already out there, but I think it would be really cool to like get like Star Trek content creators and podcasters in a room and talk about like how to get started if it's something that you want to do, and talk about like formatting and how we do. We did like a little show with a bunch of other podcasts on Trek Untold about this kind of thing. And I think like the amount of us that go to these conventions, it's something that I think people would be really interested in. So we'll see.
I think too, like there are a lot of panels about cosplay, and I think something about costuming in Star Trek and cosplaying in Star Trek, because we're one of these franchises where a lot of people go around in uniforms, but you have some cosplayer who work on like some kind of out there costumes for Star Trek, and I think it'd be interesting to talk a little bit more so we can inspire more people.
I still can't get over the person at Chicago who had like at the end credits of TOS, like the alien dude, I forget from which episode, and he had like the glass panel that had the directed by so and so. I love that, like that kind of thing.
Like I've seen people making Wrath of Khan uniform, like maroons were like screen accurate in their room, like on small tables and like sewing everything. And I think that because there are so many buyable uniforms, it's kind of lost in the middle that some people are actually incredible cosplayers, like seamstress and working the details to be screen accurate, going to the museum to take pictures, recreating the buttons, recreating all the insignias. And I think that's a very interesting work of conservation too, because I've seen the Wrath of Khan uniform, like they're not in good shape. So these people were like working to get this exact tricorder from TOS, this exact phaser reproduced by 3D printing or resin. It's actually a very interesting work of conserving TV history too.
Yeah, because so much of that stuff has been lost. It would be really interesting to have a panel that's kind of talking about like television history and preservation and like how fans are doing so much of that work, right? Like to kind of preserve some of these things. Because, you know, when TOS was, you know, off air, no one thought it was going to become what I think it has become now. So like so much of that stuff has been lost to time.
A lot that you can see at the San Diego Comic-Con Museum. Go visit that museum if you're around. Are actually Rod Roddenberry private collections that he exposed. Yeah, and you see Major Barrett's costumes for Laxana Troy. A lot is actually from his own archive. And I know too that I try in Los Angeles to or like Southern California to grab anything that is Desilu related or TOS related, because these things are on like flimsy paper and are disappearing so fast, especially everything that the fans back then were creating, the fanzines, the scripts, the art. All this is something that needs conservation. One last note on this, Kellam DeForest was the researcher for TOS, died at the beginning of the pandemic, and his book were just scattered everywhere. And I put my hand on like Desilu stamp, like research book for TOS that were used when they were writing the episodes. And these things are just up in the wind everywhere. So if somebody starts a Star Trek museum, please contact me. I have a lot of things.
We should just reopen Star Trek The Experience in Vegas and put the museum in there. I mean, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah,
right?
but there's a question of conserving these things that are like really not that old if you think about it.
No, but they should be. You're already right. Yeah. I like it.
So that went a little bit like off already.
It did, but it wouldn't be the pod if it didn't. So, you know, well done. Good job. Speaking of the pod, it is time to get into our San Diego Comic-Con 2022 wrap-up. We're going to talk Star Trek Picard first, and like Myrriah suggested at the beginning, now that I don't have fancy OBS, we're going to try some fancy screen sharing stuff and see what happens.
You're only as good as those around you.
Those days on the Enterprise made me a better man, a better father, a better friend.
I thought I could inspire people, bring justice to an unjust universe.
You have no idea how hard it is to be in this world.
Do not presume to know what I have and have not sacrificed for this.
We have to be willing to go through that door to what's next.
There's a whole universe out there. Wherever you go, we go.
Here, in this moment, let's do what we spent our lives learning to be great at.
As long as you and your crew remain steadfast, you are never without hope.
All right, that's trailer 1. That was a lot of fun. Worf, Geordi, I mean, all of them. It's great to see all of them back. We're gonna talk all about that, but we're just gonna get into like talking about some of the notes that were made at the convention from Alex Kurtzman and the cast, and we're gonna go right into the villain of season 3. Alex Kurtzman said that it's a con level baddie, which is interesting, right? Because that implies that the character has like some previous beef, right, with the crew.
It's Lon.
It's Lon. Terry Matalis has confirmed that it is not Sela. Now, listen, that could be bullshit. Like that could just that could be a
Can
lie.
I just tell you that when he went, she literally everybody around me, every single person went, it's Scylla. And I was like, yes, Romulan supremacy everywhere, whole series, all the time.
I'm
and
all
then they're
about
like,
it.
no, why?
I'd love it if it was, but apparently it's not. But apparently the baddie is a she. So if not Scylla, then who, Myrriah?
That is a really good question.
I know.
So here's my thing is I'm not a big TNG history buff. And so I was trying to rack my brain. I feel like, to me, their biggest baddie was always the Borg Queen, but we just got that last season.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is where we are going. I mean,
do we know if it's a continuation from the end of season 2, like that huge portal that opened in the middle of nowhere, and then we didn't talk about it anymore?
I would assume it's something like that, right? It would be stupid.
It's Picard. Do not assume anything. The Packlet Empress.
The Packlet Empress. I like that.
I'm about it. Yes.
What do we think about Ardra?
Who is
Oh,
Ardra?
I like, yeah.
The con artist. The con artist who pretended to be the devil.
Yeah, a goddess. You remember?
Yeah.
No.
Pretended to be a goddess, and it was owning a whole planet because she was coming back 1,000 years later.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So here's my biggest reason for that is they say it's like a heist, and I feel like a con artist is always necessary for a heisty vibe.
True.
I thought they said that it was not somebody we knew.
Oh.
But, I mean, maybe it's like the daughter of someone we knew, like maybe it's Scylla's daughter.
Shit.
Listen.
God.
Sorry.
Everybody has to stop playing with me like this, okay? Because I really wanted to be Scylla.
and my relate, Myrriah just said that the Ardra actress just passed away, so they need to recast. So.
Oh, it's Pulaski.
Riftwood, Chris says it's Pulaski, which would be epic.
Yes.
Why'd you fire me? Why did you fire me? Back for revenge. Hawk, I know I said yours by accident. I'm sorry, but do you want to expand on that?
Basically, I figured if it wasn't Scylla, it might have been a relation to Scylla, her daughter, possibly, and that it's like her mother just basically like poisoning her all these years, not talking about them, Picard, who bested her like twice in these engagements. Because you got to imagine, like 2 failures on her part, and that, at least 2. Because we saw her how many times in TNG?
Like 2 or 3 times, I think we saw Scylla.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
So and like you know how the Romulans must have punished her for failure, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
So
the chat is going insane, and I'm laughing at the chat. By the way, I'm not laughing at what you guys are saying. I'm just like laughing because I see like people writing whatever.
Yeah.
It's Spock's secret niece. Because like secret sibling is always a thing, so why not?
I like that Joe wrote it's Narissa. It could be like, listen, we didn't see a body.
I did consider that for a minute, and that
make Picard Romulan again.
I'm all about.
I've said it.
I'm gonna make sure I don't say the word bad guy. I'm just gonna say I want the most,
the biggest
the misunderstood opponent of Star Trek to come back. That's for you, Girafe. Anyway, how about you?
Somebody Heaven said maybe it's Janeway who got kicked out of Starfleet when the Protostar got lost.
I don't think Myrriah would be happy with that one.
Listen, I will not pretend that I have any clue what Picard is doing. Like Myrriah, TNG is not my favorite series. Yes, I know. I'm the demographic for like liking TNG, but no, I am not. I don't know. I just really think that they're gonna bump something out of the blue, like Discovery did.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody we have no idea who that is. We're gonna have 10 episodes, and then we will never talk about this person again. And what I really want to know is where's Laris? That's the thing I want to know. Picard.
She's around, right? I mean, we're gonna get into maybe why they didn't show her in the trailer, but we'll
maybe
get
she's
into
the
that
big
in a second.
bad. They're so fucked. If it's Laris, They're gonna lose.
She's
all my money's on her.
She's ex-Tel'Shiar. She destroyed them all. I'm gonna say it's Mariner. It's Mariner. Mariner is still holding a grudge against Will Riker because he took Boim, and she's just like, I am going to take out all of these old farts. They've had their time. It's my time. I still only have one pip, and I'm just going to get everybody's ass. Jessica's right. It's Vindicta all the way,
rise
baby.
of Vindicta, yeah.
The rise of Vindicta. It's Mariner.
I don't think
how
they're going to go
awesome
mirror.
would that be, right? Like if they made a joke out of season 3, because I'm over the uber serious tones of season 1 and 2.
Picard is not going to make a joke.
No,
What are
of
you
course
talking
it's
about?
not. Of course it's not. Let's talk about something I think that we've seen coming from for some time. At least I think I have. But the Enterprise, yay, will finally return in Picard, and it sounds like we might be going on board too. The Enterprise D somehow. Like, speaking of heists, Myrriah, like maybe stealing the saucer section from a museum, and then perhaps even the Enterprise E. And then Terry Matalis made very strong hints that it's actually
the
Enterprise F, the Odyssey class from Star Trek Online. How do you feel about stepping back on board the Enterprise with the TNG crew one more time? I know you're not a huge TNG fan, Myrriah, but
I mean,
still.
yeah, I just use that as a qualifier to say that I have not watched the entire series from beginning to end. So it's like my knowledge base is not as in depth as other series. But I mean, yeah, I'm always down to be on the bridge of the Enterprise. I always like seeing what they're going to throw at us as the next like evolution of this ship, and seeing what they've been able to do for Strange New Worlds. I'd be interested to see how they sort of adapt what we're seeing in that relationship. Are we still beige? Are we still super carpeted? How 90s are we going?
Patrick Stewart said carpets.
Beige.
I mean, some solid carpet work is coming back.
Like many Enterprises do, and everybody was very confused.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think I love a good team up. Clyde and I talk about this extensively on our pod. Like a team up situation is like some of our favorite episodes usually. Getting the old team back together. I'm excited to see where these characters are going. I'm so excited we get Gates McFadden back.
Yes.
I truly got chills when she got like her little moment, and I'm like, oh, thank God they gave you the good wig, or they gave you the better stylist. It was rough out there for some 90s actresses for a long time. So
it's so true.
So I'm glad she looks like powerful and exciting, and like what I think of when I think of Dr. Crusher, and like what I wanted her character to be, because I think that is always my continued critique of most of the time when I watch TNG is like I feel it, especially in comparison to modern Trek, right? Like we get these much more fully well-rounded, fully powerful female characters, and I think I'm excited to see, Gates McFadden get to kind of come back in full force and show us everything that Beverly Crusher has the ability to be.
Nice. Hawk.
Yeah. They absolutely have to go back to the Enterprise D for at least a museum tour. If they steal it, that'd be amazing.
Jean-Luc has to go get his fish back.
Right? Or at least just take one last little look around.
I like how you guys think that Picard is gonna do something that we expect, because
stop. You're
tell me once.
You're hurting my soul right now.
Once when we went like, oh, they're gonna do this, and they never did it.
This is the conversation I'm hoping to avoid.
I'm ready for anything. I'm just like, I don't know what is going to happen. They gave me Gary 7. This is like I don't expect anything anymore now. I'm ready for a wild ride. I'm just like, okay, what? Enterprise J? Okay, why not? I'm like
See, I know this is the attitude I'm supposed to have in that after 2 seasons of Picard and that, but at the same time, with it being its last kind of, the one last fling for the guys and that, I'm just gonna leave myself open again to be burned.
That's so sad hearing, especially coming out of your mouth. I'm so disappointed right now.
Okay, it's better to start to go in this way and then not be hurt.
It's true.
Because you remember how we started season 2 and we were like,
this is amazing. Oh my God. Okay.
Yes, and then we ended up like with Borgs in the walls and like magic key.
The Borg in the wall were kind of epic though.
And then in the end I was like, what?
What did I invest 10 weeks of my life into?
I'm gonna sidetrack real quick and say that a few weeks ago, after more than a few weeks ago now, after Picard season 2 ended, I actually argued a little bit with a staff writer over at IGN who wrote in his review that Star Trek Picard season 2 was quite possibly the worst season of Star Trek ever. And I defended it, and I was like,
Okay,
no,
wait.
it can't be. It's not. And then
Can I offer a rebuttal? Like TNG season 1? Anybody?
well, TNG season 1, but like the more we talk about it, and like the more we talked about the finale and talked about it afterwards, like it was really disappointing. And now I'm like kind of rethinking my argument with the guy. So I know we're kind of all there. We'll go back to the Enterprise. Girafe, your thoughts on
have y'all gone back and done a binge watch of that season? Because I had a
season
theory.
2?
I have.
Yes.
Not yet.
I think that season really would have been better consumed as a binge, because I felt like there were so many plot lines happening that I often forgot what was going on as we got into each episode. Anyway, I know we're not here to talk about the merits of season 2, but I do think, like you were saying, Julian, like we saw the potential at the beginning of season 2, and there was some disappointments throughout the season of like how some of those things were tied together. But the things that are making me excited, even just in this short preview, is one, we're going to talk about 7. I see that happening in a little bit, but also we get some emo Rafi action. So if she's going to be like dark and stormy and a little bit like rebellious teenager action, there's probably going to be something I'm liking going on.
I'm not like an Enterprise. I just like TOS. It's the only thing Strange New World. Like after all the other Enterprises, I'm like, whatever, it's beige. It reminds me of my childhood. Everything was beige. And I would not be able to make the difference between the E, the D, the F. I don't know at all. So am I excited for a new Enterprise? Yes, because they've been giving us gorgeous ships and like just like these, what do you call these walls again, like create like incredible scenes in Strange New World. So I'm here. I like the Stargazer was nice.
Yes.
I liked it. I mean, like okay, but again, Picard is not my favorite track because they grab me and then they let me down. But will I watch season 3? I will.
Of course.
And I'm ready for anything. I'm just ready.
That's literally your job right now, is to watch.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid for this? Where?
Hopefully
How?
one day. Looking at you again, Paramount.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what Myrriah just said, because I felt the very same way about Picard season 1. And if you do go back and binge Picard season 1 in 1 or 2 sittings, it's actually a much better season. It's still terribly flawed, but it's much better. And I will do that eventually when I've died down from my disappointment with season 2, because it does have that potential. As far as the Enterprise, I mean, you've seen the tattoo. Like, just give me an Enterprise. Give me Picard in a captain's chair. Give me Will Riker doing a Riker maneuver on a chair. And really, so in the book Last Best Hope, Picard, when he's promoted to Admiral, puts Worf in command of the Enterprise E. And that's just something that I hope they carry over and do at least a mention of, or maybe a flashback. I know they won't, because they just want to keep breaking my heart, but I'd like to see that at some point.
They said they won't.
Yeah, I know. Oh, they said they won't? They said they
Yeah.
won't? Oh, well, that's freaking disappointing. I'm gonna go out of order here, because Jesco made a comment, which is already far back, because our chat is hopping tonight, about Beverly and Picard, and like hoping that, oh yeah, here we go. I'm hoping Crusher has moved on and will be happy for Picard. So that leads us to actually our last question on here. So we're gonna go out of order. And I think that our friends over at Where's Bev would kill us if we didn't talk about it. The fact that there's gonna be beef between Jean-Luc and Beverly. I mean, you feel like there has to be, right? It's the romance that never happened. He takes a whole season of going back in time just to be able to fall in love with Laurice. Like, there's going to be some beef, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
right. Yeah.
I don't know. Is there? Are you still holding grudges after all this time? Can it just be like a a moment of like a head nod. We acknowledge that there's a little awkwardness, but like I'm hoping this team up is like, I'm here because I understand you're an important part of this puzzle I need to put together in order to solve whatever mystery it is to save the universe and all of its peoples. I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Hawk.
Is there going to be beef? I'm sure there's going to be beef in that, but
Where's the beef?
Where is the beef in that? I don't think it's on.
Strike
I
beef.
don't know if it's on Beverly's part in that, because I think Beverly was always smart enough to just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was. Yes.
I hope she's
Yeah.
like happily married. She doesn't even need to be married. She's like a concubine
yeah.
of lovers, and it's just like doesn't need anybody.
Nope.
I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of her future in that. You know, she was destined for, for her own ship at some point. You know, to be the
Yeah.
captain. Yeah.
She's got a ship. She's got a bunch of ghosts and lamps, just like doing whatever she wants.
And did say that it was the best storyline that her character was ever given. So, you know, I just hope she moved on, because I'm kind of tired of women who don't move on.
True.
I'm
Yeah,
talking about
absolutely.
you, Nurse Chapel. So I think it's great that Star Trek does like these like strong women character, but let's not make the fling like they're mature
Their whole
people
life.
and their whole life is like being in love with, like, come on. And especially after season 2, where that Picard, it never had like a lover or like a serious relationship because his mom, I'm already mad about this thing, you know. I didn't like it at all.
None of us did.
I don't like excuses. Like, people can just thrive without being in a relationship. Like, you don't have to have trauma for this, you know. I feel Beverly is not the kind of woman that would be, I can change him. I'm sure she's not.
Yeah.
And if they make her this, I'm gonna be mad again. But I'm sure she's living her best life.
Yeah.
I want her to be living her best life.
I hope that's the direction.
I
they
mean,
move
look at
in,
that
the
hair.
pressure.
That
Hair's
hair to me
awesome.
says I can't be bothered, you know?
That
be
makeup, that
bothered.
hair, that everything. Yes. She knows what's up.
You know who else is looking good? Worf. You know who else is
Yeah.
looking good?
Oh.
Geordi. You know who else is looking good? Will Riker. You know who else is looking good? Deanna Troi. They're all just looking fantastic.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we
but
have a
the-
lot of mature men looking good, and I think it's very good that we see women who are not 20.
Yes.
Because Strange New World again, I have a beef with you hiding Una everywhere for a season. So give us women that have different age, that are in different moments of their life. Representation matters. It's not only a question of race, of identity. It's a question of too. Yes. So bring it on.
I was going to say, I think other than maybe like Grey's Anatomy, this is probably the most like women over the age of 40 I've ever seen on a single TV show altogether playing main characters.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what you got?
So
you got Seven. You have Bev. You have Deanna. You have Laris,
Laris?
if she
Where's
shows
Laris?
up. Yeah. Where's Laris? That should be the name
You
of the
have
podcast
Rafi.
now for Where's Bev?
Mhm.
Rafi. Yep.
I told them
Um,
so already.
Yeah, okay. Way ahead of me. Let's actually talk about Seven, right? Because this is something I know I've wanted for a long time. Seven is finally an officer, like you mentioned, Myrriah, and it's about damn time. What do you think about that?
I just need like the Lizzo, like it's about damn time. I need a 7. I'll make up lyrics later and post it because I can't sing. But it'll be a great banging tweet later. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big Voyager person, so the fact that we've been able to hang out with 7 of 9 for 3 seasons in a show that's like predominantly TNG characters has been like, you know, phenomenal for me. She's always been one of my faves. I think she has one of the better story arcs, especially for
Yes.
she's always been a complex character. She's never been like a true to form hero, and I find that very compelling, that she had to relearn her humanity in a maybe a similar way to Spock's storyline, but in such a different way, in that it was something that was literally stripped from her and she had to find it back again. So I find her to be a very compelling character, and she's just like, she's badass. So I mean, I love seeing her in the uniform. I hope we get to have that conversation of like, what does the uniform mean to her, right? Like, was it something she felt she needed to kind of complete her journey, or is it something more of like finally a recognition from the Federation that Borg can be a part of the Federation, and that kind of taking that from the end of season 2 and how that kind of all ties together.
Nice. Hawk.
Yeah, I'm glad to see her back. I'm glad to see her. It should have happened so long ago in that, because as soon as she returned with Voyager from the Delta Quadrant, that like immediately Starfleet should have embraced her. Like basically given her own division, and that to combat is easily the single biggest threat to all living life in the entire galaxy, and that the Borg. I guess I kind of appreciate that she had like a little a loner kind of streak in that, or which I guess was brought on by like anti-Borg sentiment in that. But
yeah, because Janeway went to bat for her, and Starfleet wouldn't let her in, which is garbage.
No, she should have been the single most important person in Starfleet at that point. So I'm glad she's in uniform. Should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, you see this bias like over and over again in like TNG, for example, with like the Roman kid who was in Starfleet. You remember that episode? Like you see it like having like these like enemy within fear, which I mean the Borgs are scary, right?
Yep.
But at the panel they said that yes, she was in wearing a uniform, but she is a Fenris Ranger, and she needs to she's gonna question her identity and where her values and her ethics how they work with Starfleet's values and ethics. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm very about seeing again, because we saw it a little bit with Michael, right? A woman that is going to brush up with the Starfleet code of honor. And I'm very interested in the fact that Seven is going to do that. So again, I think we're gonna see some parallel maybe with season 2 of Discovery a little bit in these questions and these dilemmas and so on.
Nice. I'm gonna skip the Brent Spiner questions because we didn't really get any details of it
He's gonna be here.
con. He's gonna be there somewhere.
Character.
We're gonna figure it out.
Gonna play
He'll
5
be
characters.
Data 2, Lore 2, B4 2. He's gonna be there. Who knows? We'll see him.
A Noonian.
A Noonian of some kind. Final thoughts, excitement level for season 3, Myrriah.
I mean, final thoughts. I hope that they can stick a landing. I think this is a great start. I feel like we've been here before. I'm excited to get to revisit with a lot of these characters. There's story arcs I'm interested to see how they play out. And I think, if this is their swan song for Captain Picard, we should probably have some catharsis. So we'll see what happens.
Me.
Yep.
I know I should. I know
always.
I know I should be tremulous going into this. I should, try and steal my heart and not, and just, take it as it comes and that. But the prospect of Terry Matalas being like, showrunner over the entire season is, from what I understand, gives me a bit of renewed hope. And what's just the final fling of the TNG crew and that, even if it doesn't stick the landing on that, I'm still excited to see them all come back.
Maybe it'll be like Ocean Space, they're
Ocean Space
going in for one last job.
Nobody does French impressions, and they hired somebody to fix all the French. And I've said it to so many people at the Star Trek VIP period. So please call me, because I will literally cry from all the terrible French that was in Picard season 2.
It's already been shot. It's too late.
You cannot write République Française, and you cannot check that on your Google Translator. We have a problem. Trek beef. To be honest, I'm very happy that they're not doing this to TOS, because I'd be so mad. I'm very happy to see Geordi, because he is owned a storyline that is not too much garbage. because I do think that a lot of the stories they gave him in TNG were kind of garbage. I said it. Come fight me. Get him like a nice wife, nice kids. This man has earned to be respected by people. So I'm really happy to see Geordi. I do not expect anything. Let's be honest, but I do hope they're gonna stuck the land. What do you say? Stuck the landing?
Yeah, stick the landing. Stick
the landing because it's the last season they have, and they cannot leave that whole series of TNG and a little bit of Voyager in a catastrophe and a disaster. So
they had Nemesis, which is debatable whether people like it or not, but still, I know we're the Nemesis fans. I know. I know.
Who's a Nemesis fan?
Me and Giraffe. Me and Giraffe both like Nemesis.
Really?
Yeah.
Bring it on, Romulans.
Oh.
Yes.
Romulans. Yep. I keep doing this to myself. I was ridiculously excited for season 1. I think Myrriah, you came on and talked about season 1 on our old podcast. That didn't work out. I was stoked for season 2. We reviewed it, and
Half was very good.
The first half was very good. And then I'm just gonna say, third time's the charm, right?
Yep.
Right.
There
Fingers
you go.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
What would Spock say? Is that not called jinx?
Yeah, right. Something like that, right?
To also quote Spock, the wanting is better than the having.
Yes, indeed.
Boy.
Let's talk about something that we do want, and is coming up in less than a month now. That is Star Trek Lower Decks season 3. We are going to watch that trailer.
Starfleet, get to Starfleet. Prepare yourself for Warp 10 excitement. Discover the undiscovered country.
The USS Cerritos remains impounded while their captain stands trial.
Have you lost your mind?
Captain Carol Freeman stands.
I can't believe this. I wonder how Mariner's taking it.
Oh, I'm taking it. Taking it to the limit.
Did you time your entrance to say that?
What? No.
Oh, yeah, she did. Starfleet isn't all about being fed fruit by erotic aliens with slightly different nose ridges. I could get real used to this kind of treatment. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty.
It's on.
This is an unauthorized launch.
So begins the greatest adventure of your lives.
Yeah! These broken rocks are reading our nightmares, but I don't like my nightmares. Behold!
So magical. There's gonna be times when you need to make a mess of things before you can fix them. Like how I'm gonna have to cut this guy's foot off so we can grow him a new one.
Wait, what was that? Whatever happens, we're gonna be right beside you.
We're in this together.
Let's go!
My head.
Or Starfleet! Hell yeah!
I can't believe we're at Deep Space Nine.
Wait, just buy me some time.
Sir, how do we do that? I don't know. Just circle around and pretend we're in awe of the pylons. Just keep circling.
Yes.
Perfect trailer.
I love that show so much.
It is literally a perfect trailer. It is so good. Oh man.
And every time I watch it, there's something new I didn't see before.
Yes.
Can
exactly.
I just say that first of all, it was like the panel people were absolutely insane. Like everybody was about it. Like everybody was clapping, everybody was laughing. It was like such. Again, Lower Decks give us the best panels. Like, and I say it with a lot of love for the other cast, but and in Chicago and in Comic-Con, they were like a ride. And I have to say that I saw that in Hall H, and literally 30 minutes later, I was going to do a panel on archaeology in Star Trek, and they all go like Indiana Jones in the panel, and I was like, oh my god!
And now you need to add that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we know that the beginning of the season probably, the way these shows go, it'll probably be the first season, but I mean the first episode. We see them in their civvy clothes. We see them steal the Cerritos, or we see them, I think, kind of steal the Cerritos. This is going to be about clearing Freeman's name. We obviously see her back in uniform later. Myrriah, how do you think that this is going to go down? Like just hardcore lower deck shenanigans style?
I think they're going to think they are doing all of the right things only to distract everyone, and then Freeman will clear her own name. To me, that feels the most lower decky way for that to go. She's gonna Starfleet's gonna do the investigation. Everything's gonna be fine. They're gonna come rushing in with all of their evidence, and they're gonna be at the end of the court session anyway, and be like, "Oh yeah, we know she's not guilty. Everything's fine." Like,
that sounds so right.
That would totally be lower deck.
I feel like it's gonna be a lot of work for them to not get the payoff, which I think will be what happens.
Hawk.
I don't think of a better answer than that. Other than that, I think we saw a little bit from that little clip that they released in that for Lower Deck season 3, that Boimler kept crazy accurate notes and logs and that. So I think they get a clear indication as to where and who the bombing was actually committed by, and they obviously need the Cerritos and that to go pick them up. I believe Mariner is just going to cannonball her way into finding the real bomber and clear her mom's name.
I love you, Myrriah, but I don't think you're right.
Oh,
here's the only twisted caveat I will give is it does bring Mariner and her mom closer together because she sees how much Mariner
absolutely
put in. Yeah.
And if you look at Mariner, like the first season, she was like so set in her ways, being like that absurd badass chaos, like whatever
chaos energy.
You see her, you see her in season 2 doubting. You see the cracks appear, right? I mean, you saw some cracks before, right? But you really start to see that she's doubting herself. She wants this friendship. She needs to adapt. And I kept saying in season 2, I want her to grow. I want her to be calm, to open. And I do think season 3 is going to be the rise of Mariner. She's going to become the true person that she doesn't dare really being, because her mom has always been here. She's Starfleet royalty. How do you grow with people who are admirals and captains and stuff, And her mother being put in this situation, that will make her actually become the full potential of what Mariner can be. And I do think that she's going to be I do hope she's going to be the key that will unlock that whole season and save her mom or clear maybe her name too. So for season 4, we're gonna have a totally different arc. I think Mariner is gonna be 3 seasons and then she's gonna become somebody else. That's my prediction.
I like it. I liked what Myrriah said a lot, actually, but I also think they can go even sillier because it is lower decks, right? We know the Klingons were involved. We know that the Pakleds are not portrayed in the nicest way, but I mean, it would be very lower decks and very fitting if they just self-incriminated themselves and then somehow just confessed this, we blew up our own planet. Oops.
We left the gas open and somebody cracked a match and everything blew up.
And I think the icing on the cake would just be Freeman's a boss. She just she's been behind the brig and she knows she's gonna get innocent. She's gonna get what's the word I'm looking for? Not innocent, but she's gonna get cleared.
And,
exonerated.
She's found exactly. Thank you, Hawk. Exonerated, and she's gonna find some way while she's in the brig to deactivate it without them knowing. And then the minute they clear, she's just gonna walk out and look at them like suckers and get out of there and warp me. I hope they do that. This trailer had everything. It had space jumps from the Kelvin verse. It had birds from the animated series. It had clowns with batleth hands. But I think the biggest pop draft from Hall H when I was watching this on my iPhone walking to the ice cream truck was Deep Space Nine. What brings the Cerritos to Deep Space Nine? What are you hoping to see most when they do head there. And if the answer isn't Miles O'Brien, don't bother taking your turn, Myrriah. Kidding, obviously.
Oh, dang. I mean, I hope there's some really I don't know what to expect with it, because there's like so much heart to Deep Space Nine, but so much fun humor to be had when you think of like the bar and the gambling and like the I mean, I would love to see why did my brain just shut off?
Cisco's be like at least a couple times at a podcast. So
yeah, it's done.
We keep circling.
I'm
Keep
gonna keep circling. Oh my God, Kira! I would love to see Kira because I think I love when there's like such a serious character up against like big comedy characters, and I think that makes for fun banter. And I feel like she's been popping off on social media a lot lately. So I'm just like, this could be fun. A little voiceover action, keep it real secret. Could be really fun. Anyway, that's my hope.
Nice. Hawk.
I imagine it has something to do with the Gamma Quadrant. That's why they're brought to DS9. The one I'm hoping for, I mentioned before, was Quark and that, but then again, I really don't see much of Armin Shimmerman anymore anywhere in that. So, and yeah, Myrriah is right. We see a lot more of Nana Visitor in social media nowadays. So I think it's there's just some synergy at play there, and I'm guessing it's her that we're gonna meet when when they do reach DS9.
What I'd really like is Jadzia, but not possible.
Damn you.
So
no, it's Star Trek.
Not possible, but
brought Shax
I think Jadzia Mariner would be like.
Oof. Speaking of chaos energy.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go. So sure, I'd like to see Cisco because that'd be great.
Yeah,
because
wouldn't it be really amazing if Lower Decks, for whatever reason the Star Trek gods have chosen, is the show that brings Avery Brooks and Cisco back to Star Trek? It would be fucking wild.
Listen, Captain Freeman, Captain Cisco, like scheming, I don't know, doing the right thing, but it's wrong, but the wrong thing, but it's right. I'd be about this so much. But I'm going to go Garak.
Yeah.
Sean on Twitch said Garak would enjoy toying with the Cerritos crew. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure Mariner knows him because she was on DS9, and I know that like he's like the contraband buddy,
Yep.
I would Quark would be great, but I'm gonna go Garak because that's what we want to see.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Well, since you didn't go Jadzia, I'm gonna go Jadzia because it's Lower Decks, and they brought Shax back out of fucking nowhere. He exploded. He went out.
What about Ezri?
Okay, but hold on. His body disintegrated on board that Pac-led ship, right? And Shax is just magically back because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about the Black Mountain. We just don't.
So wait.
Ezri
so it's
could
Jadzia,
still have,
but not Dax.
Correct.
Because there's Ezri Dax. So
correct.
Just Jadzia.
Jadzia just strolling the promenade. Terry Farrell back in the role. It would be so Star Trek, and I would love it. And it's not a joke answer. I would, just because what they did with Shax in season 2. It's a way, I think, to satisfy a lot of fans who want to see Jadzia back in some capacity. This is the show to do that. What is it going to happen? No, but you can dream. So that's that. I don't know. I'm crazy, and obviously Cisco.
But is
that won't
Jadzia
happen
without
either.
Dax as fun as Jadzia Dax?
So would you think that Jadzia having the symbiote in for so long retains a lot of that memory? It's a question. Do Trills retain the memory? I mean,
well, if she does not, then there's not a lot of. I
think Gray did. Gray did after they died, right? And then who knows? Worf. Yeah, we're gonna see Worf in Picard. Can't wait for that. Excitement level for season 3. This season's gonna do crazy things, Myrriah.
Yeah, it's gonna be bananas. what's the question? My excitement level? Is that where we're at?
Excitement level. Any final thoughts on?
I
on
started
season
looking
3?
at pictures of Jency and Dax, and I got really distracted.
I saw the blank in your stare. Like
It's actually a shame
I was like,
Brittany's
what the
not
hell?
here because she would have laughed her ass off at that because Brittany loves Jency.
I was just like, oh man, like why do we ever get why come back? You know, like
yeah, come back, right?
Maybe
exactly.
come back. Anyway, my excitement level, super excited. I can't wait to cover it. The whole cast is so fun. I am so excited to see what they do with the season. I heard some rumors I cannot talk about, but I think if they are true, it's going to be even more magical than you even know.
And there's so many things. There's so many things that we cannot
So
say.
many
That's
Oh no, you two have inside knowledge. Oh god. My excitement level is through the roof. Aside from like Strange New Worlds, like the Lower Decks has not, like, you know, has never disappointed me. Like if you season 1, fantastic. Season 2, even better in that. Season 3 I can't believe how excited I am for it in that. I can't believe how like it's only 28 days away. Yeah. We got 28 more sleeps and we get new Lower Decks. I couldn't be more excited.
Listen, I think Lower Decks is the best show out there. I'm gonna say it doesn't disappoint. It's so fun. It's fun if you're Trekkie, and it's fun if you're not a Trekkie. I hear a lot of people saying, if you don't get the joke, it's not fun. I don't agree. I watch it with my husband that knows nothing about Trek, like barely, and he has a lot of fun watching Lower Decks. They do an amazing job. It's so fun. The Romans are back. We see like that beautiful Derridax in like so,
and the Delta Flyer.
Everywhere. They're everywhere. I don't care about the Delta Flyers, but no, I can't be kidding. No, but like, listen, give me Tuvok, give me, I don't know, like I'm so ready. And that's the thing. I have no idea what the fuck they're gonna do, but I'm super excited. So it's the same with Picard. But one, I know I'm gonna go on a wild ride and I'm gonna have fun. And Picard, I don't know, the like DICE initiative. Let's see. But yeah, I hope we get many more seasons of Lower Decks.
Yeah. I would love for that show to keep going. Man, I saw so many things in that trailer that I'm so excited for. You already stole it, Girafe. The bird of not the bird of prey, the warbird, like shooting the Delta Flyer. Like, where's Harry Kim? Where's Tom Paris? And why is Rutherford flying the Delta Flyer? Like, give me all these things. Inject Lower Decks into my veins. I need it now. Hawk, you got excited about something. What do you got?
That's the hilarious thing about their trailers is that like a lot of things.
Yeah.
We see a lot of things we see in those trailers and that they wind up being massive fake outs and that and you can't even really
well, I think
they did it in season 2.
Yeah. I think one of the writers was talking about how they specifically do swap outs in the trailers so that we don't get any real information.
And you know what?
Like, that is perfect Trek.
I'm gonna say one more thing. It's pretty episodic, but with incredible arcs. And I think Lower Decks is perfect middle between Discovery and Strange New Worlds. Like, I like the episodic of Lower Decks because I need to know what's going to happen to Freeman, because I need to know what's the past of Mariner, because I need to know why Rutherford has the implants and so on, you know? Like, there are all these like little mysteries that I'm trying to piece together while watching the show. And that's very well written. So I hope we get a little bit more of answers. I want to know what happened to Rutherford.
Joe wrote, I would like to see Ezri as the captain of the USS Aventine from the books. I would like that too. That would be a cool little continuity thing. Speaking of episodic and Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, the I think would we say this is the biggest announcement to come out of Hall H? It's a bit of an understatement, right? I do want to say real quick, it's not on the sheet, but we have to talk about the fact real quick that Paul Wesley straight up like shipped Spurk and mentioned it in multiple interviews, and that is a thing, and it's a fuck you to William Shatner, and it makes me very happy. thoughts on the Spurk love from Paul Wesley?
I don't care. We're getting a new Kelvinverse movie. I'm good.
I mean, I think it's fun to lean into it. I think we now live in a Trek world where hopefully we can go beyond the concept of like a bromance, and if there is a romance there, like let there be a romance there. That's my thought.
Agreed. Girafe is on her way back.
Beaming back in.
And maybe not Hawk. Thoughts on Spurk?
I'm glad he called it out in that, because I think the only one who agrees with Will Shatner is Will Shatner at this point.
Oof,
so.
Yeah.
I was like, have you not watched this show, bro? Because like I'm fully convinced y'all were into each other. And like I don't know. I have this back and forth because I do think it's also important for there to be good representations of like male friendships, right? And I think that is a true love as well, and that can be there. But I would hope that there's like a way to honor that a lot of people saw themselves and saw things within those two characters for such a long time. But there's also that potential to just be like, hey, like these two people do love each other, and that love is valued and is important. So I think it can be any kind of love. I just want the love to be acknowledged.
Agreed. Lower Decks, Strange New Worlds. We're going to see an animated buff Pike, according to Anson Mount. We're going to see Mariner and Boimler in live action form on board the Enterprise. How, why, who, what, Myrriah? Holy shit, this is amazing.
Okay, I've been trying to do the math. The math ain't math and real mathy.
It's not mathing well.
But my only thought is that it has to be something with some like an academy. We're going to go to the academy at some point. We're going to get young Mariner and Boimler at the academy. Or we always love a good time travel episode, which would be my preferred methodology here, because time travel episodes are way better. Or the other totally potential option is a Mirrorverse episode.
So it's a Strange New World episode, right?
It is a Strange New World
episode, but I think there is also going to be an appearance on Lower Decks. No, they said it's not like a Roger Rabbit situation.
No, because I think that what is going to happen is that everybody's going to be animation, and then everybody is going to be live action.
Yes.
There's not going to be like two
half
together.
and half. Yeah.
That's I think what they said is that when Mariner and Boimler are on the Enterprise, they're in live action form.
Yeah, and
but if
when
they're on the
Cerritos, they're animation. That's what I understood.
Yeah. So.
But it's a Strange New World episode, right? So
yeah.
Because like it'd be a Lower Decks, there'd be Lower Decks episode. I'd see it because I'm like they
whatever they want. Yeah.
Like, but Strange New World, I'm like,
okay. Maybe the Cerritos accidentally time jump somewhere. The Enterprise has to go save them. Who knows?
It's gonna be trippy.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited. Hawk.
Yeah. Like the math is just not,
the math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing on that. If I had Data's brain, I still couldn't, really come up with a logical answer at this point. I'm assuming, it's not the Mirrorverse, and that I'm thinking they cracked basically the dimension that separates like the animated with the live action.
But wouldn't that then be Roger Rabbit-y, right?
Well, yeah,
I don't know,
because they can't exist in the same dimension at the same time, right?
But is the
you either travel to one dimension or go to the other dimension, and if Julian say you jumped over to the Cerritos dimension and that you're going to appear in animated form in that.
Right.
So what I'm guessing is that Pike makes that jump over somehow, and that Boimler and Mariner. Is it just Boimler and Mariner?
That's what's been in the press release. Yeah. Yes.
Like I want to know if anybody's gonna look TAS, because in Lower Decks, when she looks at a picture of Spock, it's the animated series thing. So I'm like, my brain is hurting. I'm like, oh my God, so many things. I want something like Trials and Tribulation, where they're not aware, like one crew is not aware that the other crew is here.
So like Riker in the Enterprise finale?
Yes. No, I want like a Strange New World episode where they rescue people, that like a ship and it's the fucking Cerritos, or they rescue like two person, it's Mariner and Boimler, and we know who they are, but the crew of the Enterprise doesn't know who they are. And then there's a wolfing like trying to bring them back, and there's like, but I want something like Trials and Tribulation, where basically they're trying to not interfere with each other's, because I thought it would be so absolutely hilarious to see the crew of the Cerritos trying to not fuck that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care what the plot is right now. Like I don't give a shit. I'm just ridiculously excited about the prospect of it and the idea of it, and getting like a taste of it when we were in Chicago, like seeing Tawny and Jack kind of in their uniforms, and we're gonna get that for real. Like that's what I want to see, and I can't wait.
Ransom to hit on Una.
Well, if he shows up, right? Like that's the only reason you do this crossover anyway, right? Like get the married couple to bicker. Like I want that. I want that really bad. Anything else on this crossover before we get to the poll and mailbag? No.
Well,
no?
That's the thing. It's like they didn't give us a lot.
No,
for a Strange New World panel, and again, it's because it's so episodic in nature that they're like, oh, Spock is gonna explore his emotion. I was like,
and Kirk is gonna be like the more
I
wild,
swear to
younger
God,
Kirk. Yeah.
If you give me 3 episodes about Spock being like wanting to murder one of his side, I'm quitting that franchise. Like I don't want this anymore. Like we want Una, we want Ortegas, and we want Chapel. Like give us some lady content, but they give us nothing. They told us nothing, like nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just finished filming, I think. So
yeah, so they
could have given like a little bit teaser, but I mean, I don't know.
One more thing regarding the crossover. Do Jerry O'Connell and Rebecca Romaine interact at all?
Well, that's what we're hoping. It's not in the press release, but that's a big hope and want. Yes,
that'd be great.
Yes.
But yeah, I was going to say, I know they just wrapped, so let's not kill all of the VFX team like Marvel franchises do.
Yes.
So
well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. To poll, mailbag. It's time. Let's go.
Shipwide, Cadet Aurora.
Aye, sir.
This is your captain.
And I'm pretty sure, scrambling to get everything set up, I didn't put the numbers in the outline, so I will go ahead.
I was very disappointed with these numbers.
It changed a lot, so
really?
I will say that.
The last time I checked, it was in a deadlock between
and it stayed
Picard
that
and
way.
Strange New World, and like Lower Decks were like way behind. I was like, what?
Lower Decks started way ahead and then just fell
because
flat.
I was like voting Lower Decks with all my alt accounts.
Of course.
I'm kidding.
So we asked Trek Twitter what they most are looking forward to coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, and they said this: 38% said Picard Season 3, 24% said Lower Decks Season 3, and again at 38%, it's a deadlock between Picard and Strange New Worlds Season 2.
I'm so surprised by these results.
I think it's like the allure of the TNG cast in Picard Season 3. I think that's like getting everybody's hopes back up that they can, like Myrriah said, like stick the landing, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, we didn't speak at all about the fact that I talked with Celia at the panel, but if you have not watched, go watch.
Yes. Go watch. Yes.
And I'm receiving DMs from people who recognize my voice because they never seen us on the live stream. And like who watched the panel and were like, wait, I know that voice. And they're like, oh my God, it's you. And I was like, yeah, it's me. Hello.
It's not in the mailbag, but Haven did want to mention that was their favorite moment of Comic-Con.
It was my favorite moment.
As it should be, Giraffe being on the big screen asking Celia questions. So awesome. Let's get into mailbag. Myrriah, why don't you start us off with Joe's, please?
Sure. Joe wrote, I'm very much looking forward to the Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds crossover. The Season 3 Lower Decks trailer looks great. I can't wait for this season. I'm very much looking forward to the Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds crossover again. Bam.
Yes. Boom. Huck Wieners.
Wayner Road, Lower Decks going to DS9, and will there be an appearance by a Cisco or two?
Let's see.
Jake Sisko.
Jake Sisko.
I'm
Cassidy
dumb.
Yates Sisko. Ben Sisko with the profits? Yeah. It's possible. Jesco's, please, Giraffe.
Jesco wrote, once again, Lower Decks won the convention. Yay! Between the crossover episode and a Deep Space Nine visit, I can't wait to see what is in store, especially regarding the familiar faces on the promenade. I do wonder what's coming next for Discovery. So thank you, Jesco. Bummed they were not represented in the main panel. Same.
I know it's because they're filming right now, so they could not leave the bubble, but it's still sad we didn't get like maybe a video message or something. Would have been fun.
Just saying like, hey, we're here. Yeah.
They did some virtual panels where like the cast was like somewhere else.
I saw What We Do in the Shadows had quite a few cast members come in virtually.
And just like because we're already long, so whatever. But
actually we're not horrible. We're long because we started late.
I do want to say that I love all the shows, and I'm very happy that British is going to be back, but I don't want Discovery to fade in the back for like from the excitement to all the new show, because it is
still our flagship show.
Yeah.
It's my favorite show. Like I love everything that is on TV, but Discovery is the show I want to know about right now.
I will say though, it's like they literally just started filming. I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago. They don't have anything to give right now. Like I get it. I think Myrriah's right. Maybe a video message, but I get it. I get it.
Hello, like we're on.
I mean, Michelle Paradise has been posting, fun pictures of like the sides of buildings, a cone, her favorite thing to share on the internet. Michelle Paradise on-set photos are my favorite, like little digs at all of us because we're just so starved for content. And she's like, "Here you go, nothing."
A cone.
And I guarantee you, once they get a trailer out and that, you're going to see people. Your enthusiasm go way back
maybe New York Comic Con in October. Maybe we'll see.
You think they'll be done by then?
They'll have maybe like a teaser like they did for Picard, because those are just like promo shots in the Picard teaser, right?
So. I think it's gonna be First Contact Day stuff.
Oh yeah, true. Did that too. Colin wrote, my favorite news was Lower Decks visiting DS9. Loved Ransom's Just Keep Circling. The crossover looks to be a lot of fun since we know that the writer's room knows how to write fun. The Lower Decks trailer looked to predict a great season for them. And then back to you, Myrriah, with Sean's please.
Sean wrote, I would love to know more, even a tidbit about the 2 shows that are in production. Will we see Michelle Yeoh back? Will Mary take the helm of an Academy show? Are they working on a 7 Rafi spinoff? All of these are great ideas.
Yes.
I want the 7 Rafi spinoff, and I would love a Mary Academy show so much. I still am standing by my statement that I've been making for the past 2 years. Section 31 will never see the light of day.
I'm pretty sure
I don't
won't.
think that's true.
Okay, so Kurtzman say that they had 2 shows in the books. Okay, so the Academy show, I'm pretty sure, is going to happen.
Yep.
The Section 31, I'm with you on this. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I thought there was a room put together, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Michelle Yeoh will be in it, but
yeah. Well, okay, so that's what I'm kind of getting at. A Michelle Yeoh led Section 31 show.
Yeah, I think she is now in a gazillion other things.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, especially after Everything Everywhere.
Yes, and 1,000 other things she's been into.
Yeah,
so,
she's like in the Marvel universe now.
She could be in a Shang-Chi sequel. You know.
Yeah.
Hawk, back to you with Cassie's.
Yes, Cassie wrote, I can't wait to see what the 2 new shows in development turn out to be. Fingers crossed one of them is an Academy show, and of course, anything to do with DS9.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, Michelle Yeoh, the reason I know for sure she's probably not going to be anything is because she's in like all the new Avatar movies.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. Really? Yeah.
Yep.
Takako wrote, looking forward to the Strange New World Lower Decks crossover. I'd love to see a Phantom Toolbooth style take in which all characters are live action when on the Enterprise and all animated when on the Cerritos. And they don't notice the difference. Picard, I hope the story does the characters justice, as in no rehashing of old relationships and foibles. Foibles?
Foibles.
It's a word I don't No, thank you, Tokako. I learned something. But truthful to where the characters are 22 years after Nemesis. Discovery, where will they go after the end of season 4? I wish there had been some news. Prodigy, same.
Regarding the latter half.
Regarding, thank you. Same regarding latter half of season 1.
I was shocked not to see Prodigy either. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah.
The Prodigy people were there.
They were.
God.
Yep.
Sorry, I lost my line.
Miss
So Strange
Melissa.
New World, Miss Melissa Navia, among others on the panel. More Ortegas, please. I have to say I'm very happy that other people are where's Discovery. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how amazing Melissa Navi has been on Twitter and just
amazing.
like sticking it
Takes
to Shatner and any
no
other
shits.
troll who is being an asshole?
No
Love-
shit, no prisoners.
No, love her. Fernando wrote, Lower Decks won again because they did win the day at Mission Chicago. Finally, some DS9 love. I know a lot of people on the Discord collective have been clamoring for more DS9. And crossover with Strange New Worlds. This is going to be so epic. Yes. And we were talking about this before. Myrriah, go ahead with Lexi's.
Paul Wesley shipping Spurk. I don't feel I need to elaborate beyond that. Those eyes, man. There were some eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris wrote, I'm most excited about so many things. I can't wait to see Martok. Perhaps some Martok car talk.
Martok car talk.
Martok car talk. Oh my God. Oh,
And trombone playing Batleth Klingon clowns. Those first photos of the Picard final season cast. I'm just happy and excited to see more new Trek real soon. Also, all the deserved attention Girafe got.
yeah.
Listen, I grabbed the attention. It was not given to me. I went in line for that microphone, and then I died. I don't remember anything I said. And then I emerged 2 days later. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, you went and like literally did an outfit change and put on a panel after that. Like
I changed three times outfit that day.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yep. It was epic. It was amazing.
I couldn't feel my feet anymore for 2 days after that.
I was in a lot of pain for a good amount of that week. It was bad, but you even more so because that freaking Queen Nev, like all the details and parts, like insane
shoes.
Insane
the
shoes.
worst. Yes.
This does bring us to the end of our San Diego Comic-Con 2022 Star Trek Hall H wrap-up. Before we go, Myrriah, we need to hear things about you. What's happening with you? Where can people find you on social? Anything coming up that you'd like to share?
Yeah, you can follow me. I'm at Myrriah Gossett on all platforms. Projects I'm working on, I'll share there. Please check them out. Also, the show that I'm in Los Angeles working on, season 2 for our whole first season is out, along with some fun bonus materials. So you can check out Being Trans. It is an audio reality program. So if you like reality TV but don't like champagne tossing, it's right up your alley. So it's called Being Trans. It's on all available platforms.
Awesome. And
Yay.
I will say a pleasure to have you on once again. Let's
Thank
not
you.
have it be so long next time because it was fun. Yes.
For sure. And I guess I should also plug, you can find me on Star Trek Discovery Pod. We will be back for Lower Decks coverage. So stay tuned for that. And I think I'm trying to work on one more bonus episode for August to help fill in the gaps. So TBD on who our special guest will be.
Cool. Very good stuff. As for us, we are going to be back next week. I believe we are starting our Best of Courtroom Drama series. Couple of fillers before we get to Lower Decks season 3. That's going to be a really good time. But for now, that's it. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. Technology is a fickle beast, but we love it anyway. So for Hawk, for Girafe, for Myrriah, I am Julian. I will say live long and prosper, Majram, and good night.
Bye.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.